After 3 terms of a non-stop Sheila Dikshit rule in Delhi, it's a do-or-die battle for the BJP in battleground Delhi. And despite Congress facing anti-incumbency, the BJP virtually handed over the battle on a platter to the new phenomenon, the Aam Aadmi Party. Till the BJP changed their CM candidate with less than 6 weeks to go for elections to get back into the electoral gamut. It's the modest part of East Delhi that the BJP's chief ministerial candidate Dr. Harshvardhan comes from. In fact, his day begins from this office-cum residence that Dr. Harshvardhan has in Krishna Nagar in East Delhi, and that's where he begins his day, where all supporters are already present in his house to start the election buzz that we will see. He is getting ready to go for campaigning in various parts of Delhi. But clearly, for Dr. Harshvardhan, it's time to meet all the supporters at this moment. He may be running against time, but is hoping that an anti-Congress mood and an Aam Aadmi Party running out of steam will see him through. Dr. Harshvardhan, your party has given you just 41 days in the run-up to the Delhi elections. Do you think this was a very small period of time for you to change the complexion of the Delhi elections?
I don't think so, because I think we in the party work around the clock, around the year, and I have been working all over, whether it's my constituency or the city, in various positions throughout. So for me or for the city or for the party workers, Dr. Harshvardhan's announcement for a particular position, because Dr. Harshvardhan is not new to them, it doesn't make any difference if they had done it earlier or if they had done it even...
But it does signifies in one way or the other that there was infighting within the party. There was the projection of Mr. Vijay Goyal as some sort of a face. We saw posters across city. So it does give an appearance of a political party which has been in the opposition for 15 long years and still hasn't got its act together. You know, when a 4th term is what Sheila Dikshit, the incumbent chief minister, is fighting for.
I think you have to appreciate that Mr. Vijay Goyal was the party president. He still continues to be the party president. And as long as the party doesn't decide about a face, obviously the face of the party is the party president. It does not make any difference at all whether the face it's basically you people who project the things the other way.
But that is the perception. That is what people also will depend upon. Perception of who's the face of the party.
You have to appreciate that there are two things. The party president represents the organization. The chief ministerial or the prime ministerial face represents someone who has to head the government. And these two positions most of the time have been headed by different people all over the country. It's not something new that has happened. In 2008, I was the party president. Vijay Kumar Malhotra was the party's face. Today, at the national level, Rajnath Singh ji is the party president. And Narendra Modi ji is the face for the ensuing Lok Sabha elections. So, this is a perception that you people have created. As long as there is no chief ministerial face, the face of the party president will naturally be projected on all the posters and all the hoardings.
But let's say if Dr. Harshvardhan had 6 months as the chief ministerial face of the BJP in Delhi, would the situation have been more comfortable for the BJP? Would it have been a better fight for the BJP?
You see, for me personally, it would have been better in the sense that I could have organized myself a little better, considering the limited time that I have been given. But generally, I would say it would not matter much, because in our party, it's the cadre who ultimately decide the fate of the party. They work irrespective of who is heading them, who is the chief ministerial face, who is the president of the party, and they work round the year basically. So practically it won't make any difference to the ultimate result. That's what I feel about it.
We've seen a three-way contest for the first time in Delhi. The Congress party, the Aam Aadmi party and the BJP. The Aam Aadmi party has occupied the space of the opposition that should have actually gone to the BJP, considering that you've been in opposition for 15 long years. Do you think the Aam Aadmi party has taken away the imagination of the middle classes, which originally would be the vote bank of the BJP?
I don't think so. You see, that's a new party, and obviously when something new comes, there is an initial some sort of an attraction, or maybe some people may like to join the new party. But at the end of the day, what you must have noticed even by now, that people ultimately realize the value of vote. They know that vote should never be wasted. Vote has to be cast in favor of a system or a party or an individual where they feel that there is a winning probability or a proposition. Like that. I have been representing this constituency for 20 years without a break of a single day. People have showered their maximum blessings and affection for me. I have done my best for them, and they continue to do the same here. I have been practicing in this area for last 30 years. 2 days from now, 3 days from now, I will be completing 30 years of my professional career as an ENT surgeon. I have been living in this area for 45 years. So why should I even remotely think of leaving my own people and going and contesting against the Chief Minister? Let the Chief Minister come here and contest against me if she wants to prove her worth to the people of Delhi. So I think it's a purely hypothetical question which doesn't carry much of a sense.
Dr. Harsh Vardhan, in another way, this has been probably a very dirty election in terms of the kind of charges that have been traded between the two opposing parties, the Congress versus the BJP. The Congress raised a very old charge against you, the charge of rape. And how do you respond to something like that?
I think, you see, earlier I had a little bit of respect for Mrs. Dikshit's etiquettes and her mannerism and her behavior and all those things. In spite of the fact that I am a strongest critic of her actions and the delivery of work that she has been, I strongly feel she has miserably failed. You see, for her to have allowed her own ministers to stoop to the level that they stooped, you have to appreciate that number one, there was not even an iota of charge against me. I was neither mentioned anywhere in the complaint. I was neither mentioned anywhere in the FIR, because this is an era of information. You can get everything under the RTI Act from the concerned departments, including the police. And in spite of that, in '96, they had hurled wild, ugly allegations against me. I was the man who had, I think, set up the highest standards of accountability and transparency in public life by not only offering my DNA test and getting it done in public domain, which also proved to be negative. And there were a lot of senior people in the media who wrote big editorials apologizing for their conduct, because they were just publicizing those wild allegations. And I think, if at all, I agree with Mrs. Dixit, but she was not here in '96. What was Congress party doing for all these 17 years? This is something which is '96, and today we are talking in 2013 at the time of election.
So do you think this was just a purely a political gimmick?
She sees imminent defeat at her hands. Everything is staring her in the face. She can sense defeat, and I think in whatever you call it, khadbadahat, she's resorting to all these cheap political gimmicks. She should be ashamed.
Do you
of
think
that.
this charge at all is going to affect the way Delhi is going to think? Has it affected your campaign? Has it affected your morale, the morale of your supporters?
It had not affected my morale even in '96. Even at that time, I had said only two things. I have the strongest faith in the power of truth and the power of God. And even in '96, God had prevailed and the truth had prevailed. And I think anything in this world can fail, but never the truth.
We even caught up with his wife, who had to go through the unseemly charges the Congress put against the BJP's chief ministerial candidate.
Do you think the कांग्रेस ने इस बार जो वार किया है डॉक्टर हर्षवर्धन पर, वो एक थोड़ा बिलो द डिग्निटी लेवल एक वार किया था, और उस पे आपका क्या कहना है?
देखिए, जब आदमी बहुत कमज़ोर और खोखला हो जाता है तो वो झूठ का सहारा ही लेता है, और शायद उनके पास इतनी ताकत डॉक्टर साहब से टकराने के लिए रह नहीं गई, उनका मुकाबला करने की ताकत नहीं रह गई, इसलिए वो लोग झूठ का सहारा ले रहे थे। और बहुत ज़्यादा किसी सच्ची आत्मा को बहुत सताया जाए, वो अच्छा नहीं होता।
आप एज अ वाइफ कैसे रिएक्ट करती हैं इन चार्जेस को जो कांग्रेस ने रेप के आपके हस्बैंड पे लगाए थे?
नहीं, जब हमें भगवान पे पूरा विश्वास है और डॉक्टर साहब इस चीज़ का प्रूफ दे चुके हैं, और कौन सा, अगर आप भगवान का भी के ऊपर भी इल्ज़ाम लगा देंगे तो वो भी अपना प्रूफ देने के लिए डीएनए टेस्ट कराने के बाद कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे, तो वो भी अपना प्रूफ ऐसे ही देंगे। तो और क्या चाहते हैं आप लोग, सब जनता क्या चाहती है? बस उन्होंने अपने आप को निर्दोष जब साबित कर दिया, तो बार बार किसी के ऊपर झूठा इल्ज़ाम बार बार लगाना ये ठीक नहीं।